And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, are we going to have an awesome show for you today. Captain Tim Ekstrom from the Royal Star is joining us, and there is some amazing big fish fishing going on right now, and we're going to be talking about it. Pete Gray is still out of town on that awesome Montana adventure, and hopefully we'll be hearing from him later in the show, but they're having a great time, and Corey and I are hanging out with you for the next 2 hours talking fishing with Captain Tim. You are in for a good one. Stay tuned. It's Southern California's sport fishing voice. This is Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Good morning, anglers. This is Bob Cook, captain of the Fat Tuna from the hit Nat Geo television show Wicked Tuna. The tuna are biting in San Diego, and right now I would like to invite you to come fishing with me on the Liberty for the annual 2-day Tuna Wars trip on June 25th and 26th. This trip is a wonderful opportunity to support Friends of Rollo, as all the proceeds raised benefit the Rollo program to take more kids fishing. If you would like to join me on this adventure, please contact Howard at rollokids.org for more information, or visit rollokids.org. If you can't make the trip, plan on attending the captain's reception on Sunday, June 23 at Dana Landing, where you can meet me as well as Captain Dave Marciano and Nancy Marciano of the Hard Merchandise. The three of us are looking forward to meeting you and sharing this great evening. See you all soon.
For quality, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. The quality of the captains and crew, as well as the great meals and service, speak for themselves. Comfortable staterooms, a super clean and well taken care of boat are just a few of the reasons the Islander is so popular. The Islander specializes in 1.5 to 5 day fishing. Experience the Islander difference. Visit IslanderSportFishing.com. The lighter the bite and the cleaner the water means one thing. Need a thinner leader for more natural presentations. That's where Seaguar Gold Label leader material shines. It's Seaguar's thinnest leader material yet. That means it's even less visible underwater and creates more natural presentations for better catch rates on leader-shy fish. With exceptional knot and tinsel strength, this advanced leader material is now available from 2-pound test for fishing trout in the Sierra to 80-pound test for big yellowfin in Guadalupe. Get Seaguar Gold Label at your favorite tackle dealer or learn more at Seaguar.com.
All right. Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And, man, judging from the Ferrano picture right there, we're in for a good one, right?
Was there ever a better time to have Captain Tim on? I mean, they are biting right now. And, man, what a great day today is going to be. And so pumped to have Tim in here. Good morning, bro.
What a pleasure.
Yeah, we're really stoked, buddy.
Yeah, we just offloaded an incredible catch. I mean, this whole cycle, the last couple weeks, there's been really consistent fishing here. You know, in multiple grades. There's that beautiful, call it 120 to 180 pound fish that's out to the west, few bigger ones mixed in. There's plenty of that. And then more into the east and the southeast, there's all that 40 to 60 pound fish. There's some mix in the middle. There were some smaller fish around the 60-mile bank, that 20 to 30 pound. I mean, you know, there's a lot of opportunity out there.
This is what we've been waiting for.
It is. I mean, it's been going for a while, you know, like. Obviously, this year, I think the biggest difference, and we had talked about it last show about what we saw coming, and the real surprise was April. You know, April just fell on its face. It started strong. It was great, and then just boom. You know, I mean, there was some dreadful offshore, you know, where you see almost nothing. And, of course, you know, everybody's pining, oh, they're all gone. Oh,
it's over.
We're in Japan. Oh,
yeah, and the cycle's over.
Exactly, it's over. And
you look down on the dock today, you tell me it's over.
Well, I got to be honest with you guys, and you know, I'm not right every time, that's for damn sure, but a lot of times I am doing this as long as I have, and I was just like, dude, these fish are just down. They're down. That's all they, and that's the other one. So, we got to look out west. We got to go, west. They're out there by the one. No, they're just on that same track where it's not, this isn't really complicated. We don't know when they're going to show, but we've got a really good idea of where they're going to show. The consistency of it for the past 15 years, it's amazing.
That's cool.
You can look at the chart and go, okay, they're going to, it's this time of year and this is where they're likely to be and this is how the track they're going to follow up. They're a little farther west this year, a little bit, maybe than they've been in the past, but not a whole hell of a lot.
Yeah.
The one thing I do see is, and we were talking about earlier, there's definitely a lot more time where the fish are down.
Okay.
You're not seeing as much on top. You're not seeing as much around. So
you said in years past it would be foamers and all kinds of visual surface stuff, and you said you're seeing a little less of that.
Yeah.
No less volume, but
you'll get the impression there's less volume because we're not looking at 10 miles of fish up on the surface where it's just like, oh my god. I think there's just as much fish around. Just a lot of it is down, and we're not seeing the full volume. We haven't seen one of these giant float days where it really shows itself. But the number one indicator is when there's a little bit of fish in a lot of different places, or there's random schools, that like there's still schools down there south Ensenada, west Ensenada. There's schools out there, by Clemente. There's schools south of the Coronados. Like when you see that kind of fish distributed, that kind of distribution, there's a lot more around than your eyes are telling you.
When you're trying to get to one place and you keep getting stopped or bumping into them every time you're trying to get to where you're going.
Yeah, or you see the individual fish, a little dab here, little dab there, but you just and obviously, the fleet concentrates where the fish are. So once some fish show, you're not doing a whole lot of legwork.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
it's the oldest rule in the book. You don't leave them to find them.
And when they're up there, odds are pretty good they're going to be up, wherever they're at. And we're just not covering that water. The bottom line is, there's plenty of fish to sustain this kind of fishing for a long, long time.
Well, all I can say is if anybody had any doubt to how good it is right now, watching the Royal Star unload this morning, it gets almost broken record talk, but it really does. It looks like you guys were it looked like you were on a 15-day. There was just the boom was going all morning long with big ones. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, it's way easier to lift them with that, when it's minus tide there. That's the only way to go.
And better for the fish, too.
Way better.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're handled nice and gently, go right into the totes, right onto the scale. And again,
very impressive.
Producing that premium quality product, we gotta lead the charge, of course.
Yeah. But tell us about it. You guys were fresh back this morning, a beautiful catch on Royal Star. How'd the trip go for the boys?
Right, so it was a 4-day trip, and first night out they had I want to say they had 35 or 36 of those big ones. Call them again 100 on the low end, 180 on the high end.
Oh my gosh!
And it wasn't, you hear that number, it's incredible. 30, I think it was 38. They had 38 that night.
And how many guys did you have fishing?
For 24.
That's what I'm saying.
Right, and it was a stop for 4. A stop for 6, a stop for 1, stop for 5, stop for 3. So they just, they accumulated as the night went along. That's the perfect kind of fishing on that size fish. Like, you really don't want one of those just chaos stops or, everybody's got one on.
You can hook 4 and get 4, or you can hook 24 and get 4.
Which happens. which does happen. But the weather was perfect, and that was a 4-day trip. We've had a string of 4-day trips, and it's like the ideal setup because you can mix in. I know a couple trips ago and this trip we went in, fished on the coast for a day, just take a break from the offshore grind, take a break from the nighttime thing, go in there, try for a few yellows, mix it up, a little variety, get back out.
Fish when the sun's out.
Exactly. It's amazing how therapeutic that is. A couple of trips ago, man, it was just like, sitting there on the acre, a couple of fish boiling around.
What a change of pace this is.
Oh my gosh, man.
Remember when we used to do this?
Yeah, we had that trip, I don't know, we had 20 some odd of those big ones, and a couple nights we did really well in those 40, 60 pounders, and all anybody talked about was the day we sat.
Remember those 15-pound yellowtail we got? How cool was that?
Incredible. That lingcod I got.
How fun. What a rad time this is. And it's just, this at the landing is my favorite. It's my favorite part about working down there, and it truly is right now with all this big fish and all the potential. And like you said, that it's so cool that there's such good opportunity in multiple areas. It's when the landing feels electric. And if you come down here in the morning when the boats are loading, or in the evening when the boats are loading, and you see all these amazing catches coming off of the different boats, and guys pumped up, getting ready to go, and buying knife jigs and all the things, it is electric down here right now, and it's the funnest part about Fisherman's Landing.
I really like, going back to these catches that we've been making, I really like the fact of these big fish that, it takes one
to make
your trip.
Totally.
When you catch one 150-pound bluefin, one 170-pound bluefin, that's a lot of bluefin. That's a lot of fish. So, of course, we keep grinding at it. We go for it. But somebody goes out there and catches 2 or 3 or 4 fish.
Your trip.
Like it doesn't. It's like, oh my God, I only caught 2 the whole trip. It's all you need. To make for an incredible trip. Again, relatively speaking. I mean, we were saying earlier. I went on 16-day trips in the late 80s and 90s where we didn't have a 100-pounder on the boat.
Yeah.
Fishing Clarion, Roca Partida, Socorro, legendary play. We didn't see fishing like this. I mean, if you had a day sitting on the anchor at the northeast end of Clarion where you had 35 fish that were 120 to 180 pounds, I mean, that's like...
You did a backflip.
Broadcast it, brass band, meeting when the boat gets in, the whole 9 yards. I mean, that was an incredible...
Fish are tied to the transom when you back in, you have a trip like that.
Catch. Now it's like, you're going out. It's commonplace, and it has been for, what are we going on, 5 or 6, 7 years now? Where, I mean, this is, you really just try to wrap your head around what we're experiencing here as anglers in Southern California. This is
epic.
It's beyond belief, man. I mean, you just can't even, pinch yourself because that's how incredible this is.
And it's fun watching you and your colleagues and all the boats and just get it more and more dialed, and the tackle becomes more proficient, and how you catch them, and how you just everything about it. It's fun. It's fun watching this fishery. Like you said, it started it started, and then just every time the tackle evolves, the way you guys catch them evolve, the strategy that you do it. It's fun. It's fun watching this whole period. It's amazing.
Yeah, this has been a pretty incredible opportunity for all of us. I mean, if you think about just harken back to the 90s when we were fishing this bluefin in the daytime, which we were catching them in the daytime, a lot. But there were plenty of times, too, you'd look at giant schools and you just pull your hair out of your head because you couldn't get a bite. I mean, think if we were relying on this daytime right now.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
3/4 of the fleet would be tied up. You wouldn't be catching anything.
Yeah.
I mean, what this night fishery has done, I mean, it's created an entire
new fishery.
Yeah.
And it's in our backyard. I mean, I remember distinctly, you guys in particular, Royal Star has always had such a legendary, that was what you guys were known for, was catching those big ones. But big bluefin was always on the ridge or the Uncle Sam, or it was always so far away, and you guys would go and you would get big ones, and you guys were so known for doing that. But this fish is, it's 4 hours from the bait receiver.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we didn't see it in here like this. We just didn't. I mean, I remember it would get. We spent a lot of time down south, and obviously the whole ocean has shifted. This Southern California bite has just been the focal point. It seems like every pelagic game fish in Eastern Pacific for whatever reason, but. A lot of that fish we caught was down there, like you said, it was way out there, east of Guadalupe, 50 or 80 miles, or late in the fall it would get up there on that we call that Bell Bank, way down south, maybe 50, 60 miles south of Cortez Bank, but It didn't really get up onto these banks here local. It certainly didn't get up into U.S. waters like it has the last, 8, 9 years. It wasn't accessible, and we didn't see the kind of volume either. I mean, there were some good areas of fish, but it wasn't what it is now. It wasn't what it is.
That's incredible.
It's so cool, right?
It really is. I mean, how much do you think? I mean, Mexico's limited their commercial fishery. U.S. is limited.
Yeah.
Do you think that's? I mean, has a finger on it?
I'm absolutely convinced. There's no. I mean, when those drastic measures were adopted, was it 2014 when the rec limit went from 15 to 6, or from 5 a day to 2 a day?
Yeah, to 2 a day, which helped too, right? I mean,
100%.
Yeah.
And then the commercial quotas were cut by 60-70%, and they're still to this day being abided by very closely. I mean, you can't argue it. I mean, you watched it. The quantity of fish that were available just in the Eastern Pacific, I mean, was exponential. It was, 5,000 tons, then 10,000, then 20,000, then 40,000. I mean, it's just, there's no arguing that it
helped.
Oh, it more than helped. It completely resurrected the fishery.
And Mexico realizes that all they have to do is take a little pinch of it for the live, to keep it alive and grow its weight, double or triple, right? And fatten them up. So they're taking like a very small amount of them, really.
Yeah, they've the whole fishery in Mexico, they've done a phenomenal job at managing that fishery. When they stopped the bluefin fishery for the cannery, they basically limited it to the live fish fishery. It just made all the difference in the world. And I mean, they've been incredible. What was it, 3 or 4 years ago? They exceeded the quota and they actually released some fish because they had gone over.
Like they abided it that way.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean they're on it. Every one of those boats has observers on it. They count almost to the individual fish. They're really
crazy.
Yeah. They send when they transfer them into those pins. They have divers down there, and they're
no kidding. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
With a clicker going.
Yeah,
wow.
they're very
real deal.
It's very well managed, and they allocate the quota in 2-year blocks. So, I'm just going to throw a number out there. Let's say it's 8,000 tons for 2 years. They could catch it in 1 year, the whole thing, and then not be able to catch it the next year. They could split it up however they want. But if they exceed that, then it comes off
the following
next
year.
So they abide very closely by it, and it's better for everything. And it also supports a strong market. You know what I mean? The market doesn't get flooded with a whole bunch of fish.
Yeah.
They can catch that fish and then meter it out.
Totally.
Pretty intelligent, really. I mean, all the way down the line.
Really effective.
And I know when we were limited to 2 fish, it was kind of. I mean, we all looked at each other like, "Oh my God, here we go," But it's actually ended up a beautiful thing. I mean, 6 fish per trip. I mean, what do you
flash forward to now? No, I mean, you don't even think twice about it.
I mean, if they were all just 60, 80 pounders, right? I mean, but we're talking 160 pounders.
Yeah, I think we all when that whole the regulatory change happened, we're more thinking about it like, yellowfin tuna, where you get a lot of that 12, 15 pound fish. It's like, man, I'm going to go on my day trip and I get 2 15 pounders. Well, that might be a little slim, but when you're talking about, again, 30, 40, 50 pound fish, whether it's a 1 day limit where you have 2 fish or it's a 3 day limit where you have 6, that's a lot of fish, man. Well, look at what we just unloaded. The numbers, dude, we had, what did they have? I want to say they had a total around 60 bluefin, roughly 60 bluefin. And I mean, there's like 9 totes lined up there. It just the quantity was just incredible, and it's only 60 fish.
You get 2 fish a day, and I hear it every single day in the tackle store of like, oh man, I don't know what I want to do with all these things. Like, hey, you guys want a little extra? I got, I had a great trip, and I ended up having X amount of fish, and my processing bill is Y amount of money, and I got this, and it is not a problem of whoa. It's way more common the opposite of like I gotta figure out what I'm going to Costco to buy another freezer to deal with the amount of,
Yeah.
So that happened this past week. I had a little chunk from a guy that went on the Pegasus, and the quality. I mean, seriously, Tim, all I could think about was you, seriously, because what this fleet has adopted and grown to started with you. And I thank you, and I promised you I would thank you every damn time you're on the radio, because the quality, the amount of fat, it was a top loin, and there was 2 inches of fat from around the skin, and it was just so beautiful. The quality of the fish that's coming off these boats is hands down the the best we've ever seen in our life.
Yeah,
period.
I agree. And spending,
with the RSW and
right, spending as much time as I am now, a lot more. Really seeing the catches off the different boats over at the processor. The Pegasus, by the way, their catch was beautiful. I saw that. That fish was just incredible. And a lot of these guys have really stepped it up. Remember last time we were talking about that? We really kind of went into detail about refrigeration systems and what it takes. And I know a lot of the local guys are really stepping up. They've made some big improvements in their refrigeration systems and how they care for that fish. Way more of them now. Like most of the fish we see coming in there are dressed out. 5 years ago, it wasn't like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like most of these guys are
dressed out, meaning they're gilled and gutted and they're cooled from the core.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which makes all the difference in the world. But huge. The vast majority, if not, I think all of the local guys have now adopted that practice. Which again,
but Tim, to see them unloaded into an ice tub, like they were literally suspended and then taken to Fisherman's Processing and handled the right way. Like Jamie, we had Jamie in here a couple weeks ago, and it was, he won't touch one like over 90, 100 pounds because the respect for the fish isn't there. Like they can't do that on the boat properly. He ushers them to Fisherman's Processing. And it's out of respect for the fish and the harvest.
I remember the old days at the landing before the new building. Like you could be inside the tackle store, especially if you were like towards the south wall, when a big dock cart came up and the 4 guys were pushing at the same time. Then everybody halted at the same time and ripped the gate open, and a 300-pounder would come out, and you could feel it hit the ground. I mean, like
seismic.
You could literally you'd hear the and then boom. You'd feel that thing like a 340-pound block of tuna and ice hit the concrete. You could feel the ground shud. It's a whole different ball game these days.
We can only laugh today because of what's happening today. I keep saying respect, right? But it's a respect for the harvest. Where back then there wasn't any disrespect. We just didn't know the next level.
Yeah, I see now also, and again, we're evolution being the word of the day. There are so many anglers now that are much more disciplined in how they execute their trip. They have a mind. They have it in mind ahead of the trip what they want to keep.
Like I don't need 6 150 pounders.
Yeah, and
what the hell am I going to do?
The vast majority of our anglers, they do not keep a full limit. They just don't. Right. They don't need it. They don't
more
want
than want to deal with.
And they're very mindful of the cost of it, but they're equally mindful of the resource. So it's like, hey, if you don't need it, don't keep it. Yeah. And I know again we've gone over this a few times, but there was for a long time there was seemed to be a trend. It's like, oh, we'll just keep it, and we'll give it away, or I'll figure out what to do with that and we'll give it to charity if we. Now it's like don't keep that, man. It's like,
what are we doing?
Let it go. You don't need to keep one for charity. You're better off letting it go, and keep the charity be in the ocean, the charity be in the resource.
Be the next guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if there's someone on the boat who had some hard luck and they don't have one, okay, you want to give
tag
them
up.
Absolutely, that's a great thing to do. That's not charity. That's just being a good friend.
Yeah, one of the good old boys.
That's right. That's getting each other's back. That's picking them up.
Yeah, exactly. I got you, man.
But there's no reason to go out there and I got 3, but I can catch 3 more, and then figure out what I'm going to pawn them off on when I get back. And especially in the case of the night fishing, this is the best one. I see this all the time. So my first night, I catch a 150 pounder, 170 pounder. The guy about 2 in the morning is like, well, I'm going to bed, boys.
See you, boys.
I'm done.
Exactly. Clocking out.
Next night, we're spooling up to start again. He's got his bunny slippers on, his PJs.
Having a cocktail, watching everybody get ready. Well, good luck tonight, guys. I hope you get them. I'll see you in the morning.
I'm good.
I'll fish till about, I'll finish dinner. I'll make a couple drops, fish till about 9 o'clock, and then, guys, I'm just going to turn in.
I'm all good.
That's fun. Well, as you can hear, man, what a fun show we're going to have today. Fish are biting. It's happening. It's going to be a great time, Corey.
You can tell when it's biting. We're just all having a good time in studio. And if you want to join us, 2 ways to do it. You can give us a call. There's one open line right now. It's all yours at 213-432-1090, or you can text us via the app. I know there's a ton of texts coming through. through, and that's only done through the app. You want to make sure you leave your name and telephone number, because at the end of the show, Tim's going to flip the prize coin to figure out whether this fishing on the Liberty out of Fisherman's Landing, a full-day trip, is going to a texter or a caller. So we'll do it that way. But make sure you do leave your name, your contact info, your name and telephone number on the text, because it's only a one-way deal.
And what again, man? We talked about all the great fishing that our fleets have, and how about those guys? Full-day fishing on board the Liberty, and the amount of fish and the style of fishing that gets provided on a trip that you wake up at your house in the morning and you lay back down at sleep, and a guy that doesn't have the option of taking 4 or 5 days off at a time to still be able to go offshore and have that same level of quality that we're talking about with Taro and his crew. It really is. It's like taking 1 day out of the middle of a 4-day trip on a long range boat going on board the Liberty. Those guys do such a good job.
It's really cool. So that we're giving away a full day trip on the Liberty. If you want to join us, again, the telephone number 213-432-1090, or send us a text via the app. Make sure you leave your name and telephone number, and we're going to be right back with Tim Ekstrom on the Royal Star when we return on the Let's Talk Hookup, the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Hey, this is Captain Benny Florentino, owner-operator of Coastal Charters. Just want to announce that I'll be running the Camus 26 hybrid boat from West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa. Hybrid being a center console with bay boat features. The boat features a Michael Peters stepped hull that'll give both myself and my guests a comfortable, dry ride. West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa will be carrying the 26 hybrid, 28 hybrid, and also a 34 cat. Heck, they even have some great-looking bass boats. But if you have any other questions, feel free to call Nick Kelly or Kyle Mesa at West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa, and we'll see you on the water.
Take it from Captain Benny Florentino. West Coast Marine in Costa Mesa is your source for Camus boats, as well as Parker boats, Yamaha outboards, and now Mercury outboards. Sales and service, the finest you can find. Go see Nick and the guys at West Coast Marine on Newport Boulevard in Costa Mesa, or check westcoastmarine.com.
It's time to go fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle, the saltwater tackle professionals. The perfect rod to handle the toughest fish is Shimano Terramar. The secret? TC4 blank construction with Tech Tape outer wrap to shield the fibers from the impact damage. Make sure to match your Shimano Terramar rod with a Shimano Tranx 500. X-Ship and HEG technologies combine to provide the Shimano Tranx massive cranking power with a smooth and effortless retrieve. For all your Shimano needs, visit us at Fisherman's Landing Tackle at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. We have always been the leader with all-inclusive fishing trips to Cedros Island. We now have 2 lodges to choose from and both sit on the cliff's edge with relaxing ocean views and gorgeous morning sunrises. With direct flights departing for the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. Call me at 619-772-7570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com. Book soon. Trips are going fast.
For your next fishing adventure, check Point Loma Sport Fishing. They offer half-day trips on the Daily Double and full-day trips on the Mission Belle every day. Perfect for novice or seasoned fishermen. Point Loma Sport Fishing also offers overnight to multi-day trips on the American Angler, Vagabond, Intrepid, Independence, Loan, T-Bird, Game Changer, and more. Visit PointLomaSportFishing.com where you can purchase tickets online. Want to go fishing? Point Loma Sport Fishing has you covered.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. And man, having Tim in studio, fish are biting. It's just it's the way it should be, right?
We were talking during the break, a little fisherman's processing.
Yeah.
I was just giving Tim all the accolades. We had a big project where we needed to ship some flying fish to a great customer that needed our California big 747 bomber flying fish on the East Coast. They're doing a big world tour traveling and wanted to have it. And they said nobody knows about dealing with fish and shipping fish better than fish. We were trying to figure out, okay, how are we gonna what is the guy at the counter gonna look like when we show up to UPS with a box full of frozen flying fish? We're like, what are we doing? We went right to Fisherman's Processing, and man, it blows me away that you can walk. Now, granted, I was there probably 20 minutes after the last fish got cut, but it's like the sign of such a great place when you go to somewhere that does nothing but cut fish for a living, and it just was surgical, sterile in there. I mean, there was no fish, no nothing, no. I mean, it was awesome. It was, I mean, crystal. Yeah, it was perfect. Raymond was in there like just finishing, the last like spray offs of the table, and it was just very, very impressive.
They've, you guys, we talked about it, and we'll get Marilee in here, within the next 3 months or so, and have a show dedicated to that. But it's just been a complete rebranding. Yeah. Complete.
You guys nailed it.
Like, if you were a previous Fisherman's Processing customer and you walk into that building now, you're going to be absolutely blown away. It's a completely different facility. It's been transformed in every respect, and all with the objective of improving the service for the customer.
Yeah.
It is 100% customer based now. It's not about, anything other than providing a premium quality fish processing experience for the customer. Again, customer centric from beginning to end. We talked about the reservation system, and it has been, you guys, it works so well.
It's rad.
It's absolutely incredible. The customer reserves confirms their reservation with a $100 deposit, and you are rock solid. You have 100% confirmation electronically. It's in hand. And for the anglers that don't want to do the deposit, they don't want to make a reservation, that's fine. You can do that too. Everything is the same at the top of the dock. We're still there to meet the boats, and anglers can come up and we take their fish on the spot. That's all the same. Nothing's changed in that respect. But for the anglers that want that confidence that
they're secure.
They got a reservation.
And that's what that $100 does.
That's right.
I mean,
and it comes off of your, number one, it comes off your processing bill. It's not like it goes into the ether. It comes off your processing bill, and if you get skunked or have a rough trip, then you get it refunded, or you roll on to the next trip.
It's so easy. Because it really, it stops that I'll say it, the senseless reservation that the guy made it 3 different ways. And it keeps those that want to pay that deposit and keep that security of having that deposit, it just keeps it cleaner for those that want to do it right.
And it really, from a planning and a staffing perspective, we look at our calendar and go, we got 50 reservations, exactly. And we got 60. We staff up for it, as opposed to not knowing, and you either don't have enough staff or you've got too much.
Sure.
I mean, it just from every respect, it's just a superior way of managing it. And again, it provides a much, much better experience for the customer, and that's really what we focused on.
There's no BS reservations, basically.
No, there aren't any. No. And one other thing I did want to mention, for whatever reason, the way we ran it before, rarely did they go over to Seaforth. They just didn't go over there. They focused on the Point Loma landings, Fisherman's, H&M, and that's fine. But we're at Seaforth now.
That's right.
So, if you're on one of the Seaforth boats, if you're on the Supreme, we're going to be there.
That's awesome.
And a lot of anglers don't know that, but, we go set up. So, we have to reestablish ourselves or establish ourselves. That's fine. But I just want everybody to know, if you're going on one of the Seaforth boats, we're there too. And that's going to be a processing service now that's available for you.
We remember the last couple of years of like hey man, that's it. We are at capacity. We can take no more. And there's this, all of these changes were done with that in mind, like the ability of, you guys can service more, cut more same day service. That's the thing that we've been talking about is, a lot of these changes in mind were just, to increase the capacity, increase the amount of people that you can help throughout the year.
Sure. So, and we added a second table there, and that second table, like when again, we've got a bunch of reservations for that day. We know fish is coming in. Okay, we ramped that second table up, and it hasn't doubled our same day capacity, but it's damn close. It's way faster than even we anticipated. I mean, we've had days, especially with this nice bluefin, we've had days where we've processed 25, 28 same-day orders by 11 in the morning.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. I mean, that's crazy. And especially with the level of catch that's going on right now.
Yeah, and beautiful premium product too. You guys know it's as good as it gets. 5 mil bags. Not some hack job. Like beautiful, and that was really our goal. Again, customer centric. Make it a better service. Make it more effective. Make it more efficient for the customer. And so far, it's just been, and we're getting better every day too. You know what I mean? Like just all the little details that we can improve upon. But again, I could just go on and on.
That's awesome.
It's so refreshing. It's so refreshing to see,
Heck yeah. You put a lot of work into it.
You look at something and just go, look, there's a lot of things that we can do to make this better, and then to actually implement it and
get it done.
See it, in progress.
Well, that was the birth of Fisherman's Processing, was saying, hey, there's something that we can add to this and make things better. Sure. And that's why the business started in the first place. And you had a lot of years of success, and then the way that we take in fish and everything changed, and this was the next level of change again. Like now there's another opportunity. Let's pull the throttles back, and then let's push them forward again. And when we figure out the right way to do it.
Yeah,
that's rad.
I think that over the years now, and I've talked a lot with Marilee, my wife, who's running the place, of course, but both her and I mean, our whole life, in our respective careers, it's always about making something better.
Totally.
It's just in our nature, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I got to make that better.
Yeah.
And
there's a way to do it, so let's implement it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to be fearless about it. I mean, you got to go out there, and it doesn't mean it's going to be right every time. Sometimes you have to figure something out on the fly, or it didn't work the way you thought. But the main objective is, I'll say it again, is for it to be a better experience for the customer.
That's awesome.
Is absolutely what we're dedicated to.
That's cool.
Perfect.
I dig it. Well, hey, with that said, we're going to find out what's going on the fishing side of things. We're heading on down south to the East Cape. We got our man Chris standing by with Smokies. It's going to be a great morning and a lot of fun, and there's some good fishing to talk about, Corey.
Right, exactly. And it's always a good one. If you like to fish for tuna and you're not using Gamakatsu hooks, you're missing bites. The Nautilus Circle Hook comes in sizes as small as a number 4 and up to a 6.0. And for big fish, a Nautilus HD is tough enough but not oversized. Both come with a ring or no ring. See your local dealer or check gamakatsu.com. And we've got the man on hold here, Chris, with Smokies. And I want to know what's going on at the Cantina, too. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Buenos dias, Rick, Corey. How we doing today?
We're doing great.
Good.
Yeah, all things good up here, buddy.
Oh, man, have I got a report for you this week, guys. Usually I'm winging it, but, man, I need notes this week. It's been one of the best weeks of fishing I can remember down here, so let me get right to it. First off, we had the 58th annual Roosterfish tournament hosted at Playa del Sol this week. I think it's one of the longest-running tournaments down here, man. So it absolutely went off. They had 7 boats for between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They caught and released 274 roosterfish in 7 boats.
Here.
Incredible. One boat one day released 40.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
No, it was crazy. And right there, I caught Roosterfish Alley, guys, right there between Rancho Leonero, La Ribera, right there at Surgidero, that stretch of beach. Also, down at Lighthouse, too. But, I mean, it was a huge success. The guys and gals had a great time, and that was, it went off, obviously.
Incredible.
That's awesome news, man. How fun.
Yeah, it was great. So, ironically, this week started out pretty slow. And by week, I mean, I give the reports on Saturday. So basically Saturday through Friday. But the week started out really slow, and I was just going, oh, man, because of the Dorado bite that had been so great fell off for a couple days. And it was really just all about, again, striped marlin. And, that's all good and dandy, man. And it's not bad to go out and catch 4 or 5 striped marlin. But when the guys and gals are coming down here for, fishing 3-4 days, they want to do some other stuff. And so, of course, they were going out looking for roosterfish and pargo and maybe some cabrilla. But anyway, and the Dorado bite didn't fall completely. They were just sporadic. But then, as I had mentioned, there was some items of debris offshore. And, man, come Monday, so when I say debris, there's a palm tree stump, there's a wood pallet, and there's one of those Rotoplas water storage tank tops, like about 1 meter in diameter. And anyway, I guess they were just having trouble finding them the first few days, but Monday, the guys found those debris items, and holy cow, since then, it was like just limits, Dorado. And I mean, I'm working the docks, I'm hauling fish off the docks with my guys, and it was just great. And also, there was still marlin. And during those days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the tuna bite was sporadic. Like, guys are coming in with limits of Dorado, maybe anywhere from 1 to 4 tuna or 0 tuna. But Wednesday, the Thresher, one of Julio Cota's local fleet boats out of Palmas, caught a 58-pounder. Dorado, that is, while they were bringing in all those Dorados. And that same day, the Don Julio, another private boat that fishes out of Palmas, brought in a 104-pounder tuna.
Awesome.
And so we're like, okay, man, this might be starting to heat up. But anyway, those Dorado, this is funny. I want to tell you just a little something about those debris items. So what happened is the guys started marking them, so they could find them easier with like old life jackets or maybe like an ice chest or something. They started tying on the debris. And that kind of brings me to the point of, I was brought up fishing, in San Diego, and I know how it is up there, the competition and everything, especially in the old days where like a boat might get on some fish and they're not calling in the cavalry, man. It's all about bragging rights. Well, down here, it's a different world where, it's tight knit. These guys are second, third, fourth generation fishermen, man. It's like, hey, my grandfather fished, my dad fishes, my uncles fish, my cousins fish, my brother fishes. So when guys get on the fish, they'll call in the cavalry, man, because they realize, like, hey, the more fish these guys catch, the better tips they're going to get, and they also get, they might get tipped in fish too. So
sure.
they're getting food for the family. So they're marking those. It's funny. I wish I could have got out in the care to see it, but guys are coming in laughing. They're like, these things you can spot them, miles away because they're telling people, hey man, we got to get on the fish.
That's awesome.
So
well, what a week of fishing that! What a week of fishing that was, and like you say, from the beach to offshore, and the tuna to go along with the roosters and the beach. What a week, Chris. Sounds like an amazing time down in the Cape. What's going on at Smokies?
Well, hey, I forgot just let me tell you about the best part, man. Thursday and Friday, tuna. We got limits on tuna, man. They're everywhere right now. So now we got Dorado and tuna, and it's limits on everything. And like I said, so that was the silver lining, man. We're going off, and they're going out to get tuna today again. 25 miles straight out, 20 miles, and then there's a bite about 8-9 miles off of Punta Rey at the lighthouse for tuna. So we're expecting to see lots of numbers there. I just wanted to throw that in. I couldn't forget about the tuna.
Incredible.
Great news. Well, if somebody wants to keep in touch with all the great fishing that's going on there, book one of the very best boats in the East Cape, the Vaquera, and obviously have, again, we've been talking processing up here, have their fish processed at the very best in the East Cape. How do we find you, Chris?
Okay, so for right now, you can get any information you need directly from me at Baja Smoke Dog, 2Gs, at gmail.com, or call me direct at 858-231-1358. And I was talking to Pete the other day, and what we're going to do for the Let's Talk Hookup listeners, if you want to book the Vaquera through me directly, we're going to offer a Baja Hookup code word, 25% off all fish processing at Smokies if you want to book directly through us. Or you can always book through the hotels or whatever. So that's the best way, 858-231-1358 or BajaSmokies at gmail.com.
You're the best, brother. Appreciate it. Great report as always, Chris. We'll look forward to talking to you next week.
Okay, guys. Hey, I'm going to go have a shrimp taco and a nice cold Pacifico later after I get off the dock, in your honor, buddy.
Literally my most favorite thing down there. You got that right, Chris. Appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Man,
that sounds awesome.
Take care.
That's so good.
That's getting it done right. Exactly.
No doubt. What a great report that was, man.
Right?
Well, let's jump into the phones, Corey. They're jam-packed. Everybody's standing by, excited to talk to Tim.
Let's do it, Rick. How about Rocco? Rocco calling from Arizona. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. It's been 24 years since I fished long range. I'm going on an 8-day in first week in December. Guadalupe going to be open, and what can I expect on an 8-day trip first week in December?
I wouldn't expect Guadalupe to begin with, and then I'm not saying it's out of the picture completely because you never know what you don't know, but I wouldn't expect that. I think 8-day you're definitely going to be mixing in Alejos, Ridge. We'll have to see this year what it has in store. Really interesting to see this what appeared to be a really big warm water push and was last year is now turned into a cold water thing.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know I don't know if it's what the cards are gonna, or what's in the cards as far as December. Usually that time of year, the warm water stays, and you still have all of the the classic, the yellowfin, yellowtail, Dorado, walleye, everything available between the Ridge, Aleos. You're probably not going to go farther than, say, Thetis Bank. That's about the bottom end on an 8-day trip. And then, everything between, you got the whole beach available. You got yellowtail, you got variety fishing. So, that's one of those trips, man. It's like the potluck. 8-day trip,
the best.
Yeah, it's like you got to bring everything because anything is possible.
I chuckled when he said that, Rocco, you had said that it had been 24 years since you've been fishing, man. You're going to get like Alejos just like it was 24 years ago. It seemed like there was a period of time where the tuna were void from there, and it was a good yellowtail spot, and then the last few trips down there seems like there's been really good tuna fishing to be had again.
Yeah, this last year was just phenomenal there. Actually, there's been a couple years, but yes, if the pattern holds,
sure.
There's just been a tremendous amount of that yellowfin tuna around last year in particular. So I would, if this water, the usual trend is for things to start warming up, coming into this month, July, August. I still think that based on just the amount of yellowfin that was around, I think we're going to have really good opportunity yellowfin, and that's going to extend down onto the Ridge. It's going to extend to Laos Rocks. So that's what I would expect. We'll see, but be ready for everything.
That's awesome. And outside of the fishing, the first thing in my mind is he has an experienced fisherman's processing.
All of it. 24 years.
And the 5 mil vacuum sealed bags and just
RSW, everything. 25 years is a...
Yeah, that's pretty much, I think 2003, 2004 is when we introduced it. So, no more frozen fish.
Right?
Yeah, beautiful, fresh, bled, perfectly cared for.
Yes.
Just this beautiful product that you're going to wind up, regardless of where you fish, it's going to be a beautiful product.
Yeah, you're going to have fun,
times.
Rocco.
All right, hey, we're going to be right back on Let's Talk Hookup. More Tim Ekstrom off the Royal Star when we return on Let's Talk Hookup app, the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Back in 1979, my parents started Fast Lane Sailing Center. They lived in a VW van in the parking lot and sold catamaran sailboats. And over the years, the shop has evolved. They've sold everything from windsurfers to barbecues, paddleboards, and trailers. Here's the point. For over 40 years, my parents, and eventually me, my brother Jared, and sister Ava, have been in the business of fun and making memories on the water with friends and family. If something's in the shop, it's a product we use, are passionate and knowledgeable about, and want to share with you. We encourage you to come down to our shop, Fast Lane Kayaking on Mission Bay, and check out our huge selection of Hobie Mirage kayaks, accessories, and more. And let's get you on the water, fishing with friends, enjoying the coast with your family, or exploring mountain lakes in solitude. In other words, having fun and making memories.
Gas prices are going up, up, up. So now more than ever, you need Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. Pull up to the newly expanded Summit Gasoline and get low gas and diesel prices for your car, truck, and boat. They can now accommodate 24 cars and trucks to fuel at the same time, plus 12 diesel boats, plus 100 pounds of free ice with a minimum 35-gallon fill-up. Easy in and out, too. Step into the Summit Bistro and enjoy what Martha and her crew have for you on things you can use. Fresh-made burritos, sandwiches, and salads, along with beer, beverages, and, of course, always free ice. So many Let's Talk Hookup listeners have taken advantage of Summit Gasoline's low prices, great service, and free ice. They have become the largest seller of fresh gourmet ice in Southern California. Summit also sells frozen bait and fishing licenses 24 hours a day. Summit Gasoline. Low prices, friendly staff, free ice, and easy in and out with your boat and trailer at the San Diego Sports Arena.
If there's one thing we like, it's choices. And at your San Diego County Ford dealers, you can find yours with the all-new 2024 Ford F-150 and a range of powertrain options. Whether it's a gas engine with the best-in-class towing, powering up with the F-150 Hybrid and the available Pro Power on board, or the all-electric F-150 Lightning. What you choose to do with that much power is up to you. Tough this smart can only be called F-150. Visit your local San Diego County Ford dealer today. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Great fishing is what Seaforth Sports Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, Elgato Doe, Pride, Polaris Supreme, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Fillet knives shouldn't be disposable. Introducing AFTCO fillet knives that are built to last. Designed in collaboration with Boker, Germany, AFTCO knives feature 4116 German stainless steel, bonded with titanium nitride to ensure optimum corrosion resistance and exceptional edge retention. A non-slip TPR handle maintains a firm grip when processing game fish. Premium in every sense, AFTCO fillet knives are available in multiple length options to provide the right tool that gets the job done season after season. Fillet knives from AFTCO. Any fish, any water.
All right, welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup, and having so much fun in studio, and all the lines are full right now. But if you want to join us later, we're 213-432-1090. We're giving away a full-day trip on the Liberty. So cool, and a text are rolling through. You want to do that way too?
Man, no doubt. It's been a really busy morning on the phones already. Everybody's packed in. Everybody's excited to talk to Tim. And let's jump into the phones. Grab another caller, Corey.
Let's do it. How about Chuck? Chuck calling from Dana Point. Good morning, Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
Good morning, guys. Well, you're giving me the fever. I already had it.
Right?
You know, the old days with the albacore, it was so far out and rough sometimes. You waited to hear them hit the deck and start beating themselves to death. But could you imagine now with the fish care, taking it to fisherman's processing and all this, what kind of albacore we're going to get from where the sack bait fish out there we used to have?
Yeah, you know, we actually started that whole RSW thing in 2003. So we had really good albacore fish in 2004, 5, 6, 7, and the quality of that fish.
I can't wait.
Oh my gosh,
I know.
And you know what really makes a difference? Like I know how we do it on Royal Star, and still a lot of those fish. I mean, you lay that thing gently on the deck. Number one, we don't do the triple Indy backflip.
Flip it off the gaff hook.
Oh yeah, the cool. You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah, the flip off the gaff. No, we lay it down on the deck, or I'll run over, grab the head, and just take it right off the gaff and spike it. So
immobilize it before it even touches.
Like they don't even flop.
Yeah, 25-pounder might not even hit the deck until it's been spiked and done.
Yeah, a lot of them don't. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like in the head, and those albacore, they have that nice soft head.
Man.
And they're done. Like you have a full speed albacore bite. Everybody's got one on. Fish coming over everywhere, and there's you remember the old.
Oh my God, that's what it was.
And now it's silent. Nothing. Seriously.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. And we lay them out on the deck.
You know, the people that can't afford the processing, do you ever think about giving a class? 4 or 5 guys, give them a class, maybe guys from out of town, might be staying down an extra day or something. Might be something to think about.
You mean how to fillet fish?
Yeah, how to do the processing and bagging. Because a lot of people screw all that up.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. We got a beautiful observation window right there to process it. So, the class is taking place the entire time. Guys are, it's in session from about 5:30 in the morning till, however long we fillet fish every day. You can sit there and watch the entire process, which is super cool.
Honestly, that is what I thought. I mean, it really is. I mean, it was set up with that in mind. If you haven't seen the new building, which is not new now, it's been, now it's been honed in. Like, there is a giant, you get to watch the whole show, and it is absolutely an impressive thing to watch how, a tremendous amount of fish can get turned into perfect meal portion vacuum pack bags. Like, we always joked about it, called it like the wood chipper, but boy, that's what it is, man. It just goes into one side, there's knives are flying and bags are being packed at the other end of it. It is very impressive.
It's really cool to watch them break down those big tuna.
Oh, it's the best.
Just how efficient it is.
It's an art.
It's an art, and how beautiful. There's like no waste whatsoever. Those guys, every time the cuts are just perfect.
Super clean.
What's cool to me to watch is like Raymond cuts a fish so much. I grew up from the school of dad. You kind of outline it, get the loins off, and away you go. But like Raymond doesn't make any cut without like a specific intention, and like each cut like assists the next move. Like it is very this is how it's done, like the most efficient way possible. It's really cool. Hey, appreciate the call, Chuck, very much. We got a great bud on the line. Mike Lum is on the line right now. Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea, all kinds of fun stuff going on. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
We got you there, Mike.
Good morning, guys. Hey. Sorry I had the phone on mute.
No problem, buddy. Good morning. We're excited to talk to you. Some fun stuff going on with Captain Rollo's. There was a great trip that left yesterday at a Fisherman's Landing, one of the Rollo trips, very well attended, and we got to see Tim Baker. He got to see off a big trip, and it was just like it was a fun reminder yesterday of why you guys put all this work together. There was a boatload of really stoked kids going fishing on the Dolphin that all got to enjoy a really cool afternoon of fishing, and it really made me smile thinking about you, knowing you were going to call us today.
Well, I appreciate that. We've had a lot of trips this week, and they've all just done so well. The kids are all just absolutely fired up, and it reminds us all and motivates us all as to why we do this all year long. It's all about raising money so we can get more of those trips off the dock, and most people have heard us say it many times, but we have exceeded the 150,000th kid mark, and we continue to just roll forward, and it's all dependent on raising money. And the reason I'm calling in today is we've got a special opportunity. If you guys have been listening, you know we're getting ready to do Reel a Week, and those drawings will start on July the 16th. And leading up to that, we're still selling tickets. We still have some available for sale, and we put together a promotion that's going to start today, and it'll run through Wednesday. Anybody that wants to buy 4 Reel a Week tickets, they're $25 a piece. Obviously, all those tickets stay in the drawings for all 25 weekly drawings to win some really great reels. But if you buy 4 tickets today through Wednesday, a Let's Talk Hookup special, we are going to do a special drawing on Wednesday evening and give away an Accurate Valiant 2-speed size 600 reel. It's about a $700 reel.
Jeez.
And the only yeah, it's a great reel, great opportunity, and the only people that will be in that drawing will be people that buy 4 tickets between now and Wednesday.
Get out of here.
So yeah, it's a great opportunity, very, very limited, and so not only do you get involved in the Reel a Week for all 25 weeks, but you'll be in that special drawing, and that's today through Wednesday only. And the way you buy those tickets is you call 951-264-7382. That information is also available on the Friends of Rollo Facebook page and at rollokids.org. You can get all that. If you prefer not to call, you can also send an email to win@rollokids.org, and all we need is your name and phone number, because as soon as Tim gets caught up, he will call you back in the order that they come in to make sure you get your tickets and get entered into that special drawing. So that's what we're doing between now and Wednesday, and hopefully sell some more of these Reel a Week tickets and get some more of these kids out on those boats fishing for the first time.
What an incredible deal there, Mike. And so for every set of 4 tickets you purchase, you get a ticket. So, I mean, if I buy 16 tickets, I get 4 chances into the accurate reel?
Yes, for every 4, you'll get entered into you'll get another ticket entered into that special drawing. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but when you buy 4 tickets, we're going to give you the 5th ticket for free.
Man,
so if you buy in multiples of 4, then you get an extra ticket for every 4, and you get an extra entry into the Accurate Reel drawing on Wednesday. And like I said, there will be quite a few people today that will take advantage of this. But the reason we stretch it out to Wednesday, honestly, is because Let's Talk Hookups is so popular, listened to on the archives and the apps. A lot of people call us on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday that have just listened to the show. And so we've decided to stretch it out to Wednesday to give everybody an opportunity to get involved in this. It's going to be a great fundraiser for us. It's Reel a Week has become a big, big deal for us, and we appreciate Let's Talk Hookup partnering with us to promote it, because honestly, that's where the vast majority of the ticket sales come from.
Probably my favorite. I was just going to say, it's one of my favorite promotions that you do just because you're in it for so long. It's fun that it's extended out, and if you didn't win this week, well, you've got week after week after week after week of the next one up, and it's really cool. It's fun every week, and it's been fun for me in the tackle store seeing buddies win a reel and come in and put line on them, and I think it's a super successful promotion. I participated, and I love it, and I'm excited that it's getting ready to start back up again.
We appreciate that. One final note, we also have the upcoming Tuna Wars. This is Tuna Wars 9. This is a 2-day fishing trip out of San Diego, obviously tuna fishing, and it features the Wicked Tuna captains to come out and fish with the public. We've been selling tickets. We are close to being sold out, but we do still have a few spots open. I think the Liberty, that would be with Captain Bob Cook from the Wicked Tuna boat, Fat Tuna. So this will be Team Fat Tuna aboard the Liberty. Has a few spots open. If anybody's interested in participating with that trip leaves on Monday, the 24th of June, and returns for the weigh-in on Wednesday, the 26th. And those tickets can be bought. Questions can be answered by contacting Howard at RolloKids.org. That's Howard at RolloKids.org, and that's the upcoming Tuna Wars 9, and the captain's reception the night before will be on Sunday over at Dana Landing, and it is free admission. There is no charge to come rub elbows with the Wicked Tuna team and participate in the raffle or the auction or whatever you want to do. There'll be tons of food and drink available, and there is no charge at all. You don't buy a ticket. You don't make a reservation. It's just come over to Dana Landing on Sunday the 23rd. It's going to kick off about 4 o'clock, usually wraps up between 7 and 7:30. It's a lot of fun. We usually have a couple hundred people there, and there's a lot of the who's who of the fishing tackle industry that come and support us on that. There'll be tons of great prizes given away. It's always a fun event, and lots of people to see and meet and take your photograph with the Wicked Tuna guys and get an autograph and all that kind of good stuff. But it just all goes to support the kids, and that's what we're doing all this about.
That's awesome, man. Great times. Can't wait, Mike. One more time, shoot us the phone number if somebody wants to get it again. Amazing promotion. Buy 4 tickets, you get a 5th ticket for free, and you get entered into a special drawing, a $700 value accurate reel only for those that participate, that starts today and runs through Wednesday. One more time, shoot us the phone number if we want to get in on that.
Call 951-264-7382, and or you can send an email, win@RolloKids.org. What we need is a name and phone number so that we can call you back in the order received, and we will get you those tickets, and you'll be entered into this special drawing on Wednesday, and then, of course, you'll be in drawings for the real week from July 16th all the way out till December the 31st. So it's a really fun promotion, and the kids win with every ticket you buy.
Well said, buddy. Great job, Mike. Appreciate you, everything you do for us and Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea, and we'll look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And we're going to be right back. You're listening to Southern California's Sport Fishing Voice. We're going to be right back. We got fish reports, your calls, text, and more. When we return on Let's Talk Hookup, the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Anyone that's been to the East Cape knows Smokey's Curing Company Cantina, the best food and drink in Los Barriles, and a fun place to hang out and watch your favorite sporting event. If you're lucky, you probably had Smokey's process your fish to take home. Their quality and service is top-notch. You'll see me at Smokey's Cantina hanging out with the owner, Chris, and my buddies when fishing in the East Cape. And we always send our fish to be processed at Smokey's, too. Now Chris has added one of the finest boats in the East Cape available for you to charter for a day or more of fishing. Vaquera. It's an immaculate 35 Cabo with a seakeeper and Captain Diego Romero, one of Baja's best. If you're looking for a great charter boat when fishing at Palmas, Playa, or other resorts, Vaquera, booked at BajaSmokies.com, should be your choice. So, when you're headed to the East Cape, be sure to stop by Smokey's Curing Company Cantina. Send your fish to be processed there and fish aboard the 35 Cabo Vaquera. Check BajaSmokies.com for more details.
All of us at the American Angler family want to express appreciation to our regular passengers that fish with us year after year and to the new anglers that came out this last season. We realize how precious your vacation time is, and we are truly grateful that you have chosen to spend this time with us. It's important that your experience is memorable, from the moment you call the office to the time you step off the boat. Hi, I'm Lori. Call me at the office, 619-223-5414, or check us out at AmericanAnglerSportFishing.com. Come fishing with the American Angler family and make a memory.
If it was possible to improve near perfection in a lever drag saltwater reel, Shimano is the company that can do it. Introducing the all-new Talica 12A and 16A two-speed lever drag reel. These new Talica reels raise the bar of Shimano's flagship reel again with ultra-smooth reeling and powerful drag performance to conquer long battles with trophy game fish. The addition of Shimano's innovative Infinity Drive technology leverages a new drag design to increase drag force and produce up to 30% lighter rotation during tough battles. The new generation of Talica now features X-Protect technology to boast high-level water resistance in vital areas. These new Shimano reels feature a Hagani body made of highly rigid aluminum to reduce the reel's overall weight. The palming side plate is an additional 6% smaller than the previous generation. Push the limit. Shimano's all-new Talica 12A and 16A reel, available at your local Shimano dealer.
This is Bob Hoots at Costa Sunglasses. Visual signs are a critical part of my fishing program, from bay bass to bluefin. I wear Costas to see what's out there. Costas are built with advanced polarization technology with our 580 lens, designed to cut through the sun's glare while providing enhanced color to see more fish. Costa was founded by a group of anglers wanting a high-performance lens for every fishing application. Costa has a West Coast style frame and lens for your adventures. CostaSunglasses.com.
Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Catine, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.